This video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Alright guys, we have Julian Marquez taking on Gregory Rodrigues. And at middleweight, this is 9-2 Julian Marquez. He's had 2 fights in 2021. He's taken the time off. He was meant to fight Jordan Wright, Carl Dorcas, and Wellington Turman. He's now facing Gregory Rodrigues. Gregory Rodrigues, in both of our opinions, got absolutely robbed against Armen Petrosyan. Has finished Jung Park, beaten a very impressive Todorovic. Josh Fremd, before he even got into the UFC, he's an absolute wizard on the mat. He's shown he can strike. How much of an opinion do you rate Julian Marquez, and what do you reckon for Gregory's chances here?
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't rate Julian Marquez that highly. I think that he had a very good opportunity on the Contender Series that he took advantage of against Phil Hawes back in 2017 or so. Phil Hawes was an uber prospect at that point. And Julian Marquez, I mean, props to him. Halfway through that second round, he landed that head kick. We've kind of learned a little about Hawes' chin since then. So takes a little bit away from it, but still got the finish there. Came into the UFC, got that front choke of Darren Stewart after pretty much losing that fight up until that point. So, I mean, a few times now, Julian Marquez has won fights where he was losing, which is a good and bad thing. But, you know, the last couple fights for Marquez kind of showed me where he was at. And I can understand why he took time off between injuries and just needing to get better. He's had some pretty major injuries in his career too. So, you know, definitely credit Marquez for that. But Maki Patola wasn't super impressed by that fight. He did get that finish in the third round, but very competitive fight. Took a ton of damage against Coconut Bombs, and then follows that up with making Sam Alvey look like he's about to win a fight until he caught him with that miracle kind of side choke, rear naked choke, bully choke thing at the end. I don't even know what that was, but just overall, Sam Alvey, if you're really struggling with Sam Alvey at this point in your UFC career, I'm just not seeing those improvements for Julian Marquez. There's huge periods of inactivity, not only between fights, but during the fights for Marquez, where he just stops his activity almost like he's trying to recover or what it is. I'm not a Julian Marquez believer at all, and I am a huge Gregory Rodrigues believer. I believe he won that last fight, and I've been impressed with Gregory Rodrigues since he lost his Contender Series fight where he really kind of blew an opportunity he shouldn't have. It gave him a few extra fights with the LFA to win the LFA title, beat guys like Josh Fremd and others, get the finishes there. And, I mean, Gregory Rodrigues, the thing I think a lot of people aren't aware of is how good his jiu-jitsu is also. I think a lot of people think he's just kind of a power boxer type of guy with some good body kicks and everything like that, but his jiu-jitsu is what really gets him to the, you know, podium, so to speak.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, the body kicks are really impressive. I remember watching him on Smash Global against Brandon Hester, and he's finished him with a body kick. It's I think personally, Gregory Rodrigues wins this in every dimension. I think striking-wise, pace-wise, physique-wise, he's 30. He's in his absolute prime. He looks like he's in his prime.
Yeah.
He's a physical specimen. I just think if it hits the ground, he's submitting Marquez, and if it stays standing, I think he could definitely finish him.
Yeah. I mean, I always like looking for when I'm really getting behind my favorites, which Gregory Rodrigues is my favorite on this card. I will say that first and foremost. And he's at a pretty affordable price of -172, which I think is very good here over in the States. Very good, nearly about a 1 to 1.7, odds on that for over there in England. But yeah, either way, I just think this is a really good opportunity for Gregory Rodrigues. Took a few months off after the Armen fight as well. Not that he took a ton of damage, but I think it was really good to reassess and not just emotionally jump right in after a frustrating split. Everything like that. I just think, for me, I think Gregory Rodrigues can win this by decision. I think he can win by KO, and I think he can win by submission. For me, I feel Julian Marquez can only really win this fight either by, really just kind of a flash knockout type of situation, which would really shock me, or an exhausted submission in the late stages of the fight.
Yeah.
Also would surprise me. Neither one of those.
Both incredibly unlikely. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. But
Absolutely.
Gregory Rodrigues for me is a huge spot for him.
Perfect.